Hi, welcome to Amy's Autopsy Report. My name's Amy, and today I am reviewing Basket Case 2. I have a friend of mine on Facebook requested that I review this movie, and I had not seen this movie in so long. And it was really fun to rewatch this. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen any of the Basket Case movies for decades, probably. Basket Case 2. Not Basket Case 1, Basket Case 2. Here's the disc art. I rented this from Netflix. I don't own the Basket Case movies, but I wouldn't mind owning those. They're fun to watch. Just films that there's so many films I have not acquired, and you know, like I've said before many times, when I moved back here to my hometown, I kind of sold a lot of my stuff, a lot of DVDs, a lot of VHS, actually all the VHS I had. And so it takes a little while to rebuild the collection up. And I personally, I like to buy a lot of DVDs, and when I do, I like to buy them at super cheap prices, like used at yard sales. And you know, so like over half the movies I have, probably 3/4 of the movies I have only spent like between $1 and $3 for, because I love the idea of finding these things at super cheap prices. Okay, so Basket Case 2, sorry I'm rambling. This movie's hilarious. It's from 1990. I can't remember what year the first one was made. It was in the 80s sometime at some point. The director's name was Frank Henenlotter, and he directed all 3 Basket Case movies, and he has directed other like exploitation movies like Frankenhooker, Brain Damage, some other films. And interesting fact, I was looking him up, and we have the same birthday, August 29th. Me and Frank Henenlotter, Basket Case director. So, okay, so let's get moving with this review. This is the disc art. Like I said, I rented this from Netflix. Looks like this was a Synapse release. They have a lot of interesting film releases, the Synapse company. Okay, things I liked about this movie. This movie is ridiculous. I mean, the basic plot, if you haven't seen the Basket Case movies at all, the basic plot is Dwayne and Belial Bradley are born as Siamese twins. Belial is completely deformed, not formed at all like a human. He has a face and 2 arms, and that's pretty much it. And they get separated through a surgery, and Dwayne keeps Belial in this huge wicker basket and carries him around everywhere. Well, Belial kills people and rips their faces off. So that's the gist of Basket Case in general, if you haven't seen either one of these films. So in this film, Dwayne and Belial fall out of a 3-story building and land on the pavement. That's how it starts. And they end up in the hospital, and all of these tabloid reporters are around because he's kind of like, Belial's kind of like this mutated freak, and you know, they want this story on him. So all these tabloid reporters are all over the place, so they're kind of hoarding around him, and in the hospital, there, you know, nobody wants him in, and you've got like these 2-star reporters from this kind of tabloid paper that are determined to kind of break this story. Well, Dwayne, when he's able to get up and move around, takes Belial and escapes from the hospital. And as they're leaving the hospital, this eccentric old woman, played by Annie Ross, who has been in a whole lot of movies. And the acting's not bad in this movie at all, really, considering what it is and what happens here. Annie Ross takes in Dwayne and Belial. She takes them to her house. She kind of nurses both of them back to health. And we find out that she has this attic full of these mutated people freaks, if you will, mutated freaks, and they all live in the attic, and she takes care of them, and she really takes care of them well, and they all love her, and it's like their home, and it's really like a good place for them. So we find that out. Well, of course, Dwayne and Belial are wanted on a variety of murders. And somehow this reporter, she kind of tracks them down to the house she's in, to the house that they're living in, because they're living in this house with Annie Ross's character and Annie Ross's granddaughter's character. And Dwayne likes the granddaughter. And Belial, who, when you see what he looks like, he's basically like a face and then like this foam latex rubber blob. Like he has 2 arms. Obviously he's puppeted and they've used animatronics or whatever. And he finds a female version of the latex rubber blob, and they kind of fall in love. And there's like all these other freaks that live up in the attic. And so this reporter finds out where they're living. She convinces, they break into the house once she sees that Dwayne is there, because she sees him in the hospital. So she knows what he looks like. So she breaks into the house, and they decide as a family, because this eccentric grandmother here, she's created like this community for them. They all decide together that they're going to fight. They're going to fight the press. They're going to fight the tabloids. They're not going to be taken down. And so they battle. They wait for them basically to break into the house, and then they kill them. So that's the plot. Things I liked about this movie. This movie was actually well acted. Annie Ross's character does an amazing job. You can tell that she's a seasoned actress. It's like a horror comedy, so the story is completely ridiculous. I mean, there's even mutant sex in this movie, so it's like completely like far-fetched ridiculous, which is cool. I think they pulled it off well. The monster makeup I really liked. I love that old school 80s/90s rubber man suit kind of monster makeup, so I liked that. It was a very quickly paced movie, so it was never boring. It was like they obviously had enough of a budget to show all of the freaks repeatedly and that kind of thing. So that was really, really good. Things I didn't like about this movie. I would say that one thing I didn't like was at one point you see blood, and it's really bad looking blood. Like the color isn't right, and it looked too runny, and it just looked really bad, like Kool-Aid or something. But then later you see blood again, and it looked really good. So it's kind of weird. Another thing I didn't like about this movie is there's hardly any gore. I mean, some people die, but you don't really see it. I wish you'd seen more of that. There's no gore, hardly any. Overall, though, the majority of the movie I really enjoyed. It's got a high entertainment value, some great one-liners. I think if you're with friends and you're having a beer or two, you'd really like this. It's just kind of fun. Basket Case 2. I like this movie. I like the original also, just because they're different. And I think I would probably rate this a 5 out of 10. Or 5 out of... No, not 5 out of 5. I'm going to say 3 out of 5. Overall, a good entertaining movie. And if you haven't seen the Basket Case series, I think you should check it out. I don't know if I've seen the third one or not. I know I've seen 1 and 2. I just had seen those long ago. But I don't think I've seen the third one. So I may have to check that out. And I may have to pick these up if I find them cheap, on DVD. But that's it for this movie review of Basket Case 2. Check it out if you're interested. If you like that movie, let me know in the comments below. If you hate it, let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you hate about it. That's it. Like, comment, subscribe. And if you have any other suggestions, please feel free to let me know and I will add them in. So I will catch you in the next one.